hero isn't enough. Many will answer the call. They are the legends of tomorrow. And who else is worthy to tell the tale but the podcast of tomorrow? Hello, everyone. I am, of course, your host, Time Master Zachary here. And I have scoured the timeline for someone I could pluck and not have any effect on history. That's right. With me is Philip Hurt and Tyler with a single quality.
That's right. We have no effect on the timeline.
It's all good with this Destiny.
There's no podcasts. We have no effect on anything important.
I just been hanging out at the vanishing point, just, letting time pass, not aging, just chilling out.
God, that'd be an awesome name for a...
So I thought I'd just drop back in, I guess.
Well, while you were there, I was at the restaurant at the end of the universe.
Nice. So, the Spear of Destiny, huh?
Wait, did you do air quotes like Haywood? Something called the Spear of Destiny.
That's stupid. Who would name it that? Legion of Doom. That was the Legion of Doom. He's like, who named this stupid name like that? You did.
You did.
And we start right off with something that for some reason, everyone was geeking out about. Felicity as a vigilante.
Until she got her neck snapped.
Oh my gosh, I was like, Phil's probably clapping and Lilith is like, hooray!
Oh, I think Lilith was throwing a party, I think.
But it's funny because it's like, oh, so Damien's finally learning. He's starting to kill the heroes right away.
Mm-hmm. That was cool, the trophy case with all the masks and heroes and everything.
And
it was neat.
If you notice, because you notice these things during a rewatch, I forget what they called it, but his totem, the statue, was there.
Yeah, because he said that one of the first things I did in this was reacquire my magic.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make a point about that later in the episode. But we'll get to that. So we get a view into this alternate time.
Ultimate reality.
Reality, that's it. I know. And of course, apparently Tommy's alive, but we didn't get to see it. They should have made another joke about, like, is your son still happy as a doctor? Your son's alive and happily working as a doctor in Chicago.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That is a good point. Did they mention about him bringing Tommy back? Because
They did. He said your family's alive and well, and Thea loves you. That's essentially they did that. They just say, "Oh, timeline's different." Mm-hmm. I would have loved to. It's just I understand it's not Arrow. Actually, imagine that if like that would have been a good crossover. Every episode is in this universe.
Yeah.
Yes. I would have liked to see Merlin's wife. Like, since that's the crutch of what made him go, League of Assassin, like, if his wife was still alive, like, just to see that kind of thing, that side of Merlin where he goes and there's him and his wife and everything, because... Well,
that's the same argument we had with Flashpoint. They should have done it for a whole week and every show should have been involved in it.
But there's so many things about, like, the difference between rewriting reality compared to time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, rewriting reality, because technically, if his wife was alive, he probably, no, never mind.
I think the idea is that, like, whoever touched the spear, they can like make it so they still retain. That's why Merlin still has his assassin abilities, even though he never joined the League of Assassins in this timeline. Whoever touched the spear can rewrite. Although here's the funny thing, it's a weird thing I wanted to mention. Like, when he was touching the spear, he used his cyborg hand. Shouldn't that have like not worked for him?
Shouldn't he have rewrote it so he didn't have a cyborg hand?
No, he did. I'm saying when he first grabbed it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Who knows? Maybe because the robot hand's touching him. I don't know.
It's a small nitpick. I just wanted to mention it for the sake of mentioning it. By the way, who else loved when he waved at Captain Cold, came out. That was just awesome.
When they robbing the bank.
Yeah, or whatever. Wherever it was, and Mick's just like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, it's I think this episode was really interesting from Mick's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
From the point that he's kind of caught between two different things, and even when he tries to go save the legends, they're still like, we don't trust you. And I get it, but it's even harder, I think, for Mick.
But, well, I think it's like it's funny because like the thrill is gone, and for him that's everything.
Yeah,
he's always one of the interesting characters of the show.
He doesn't care about the destination. He just likes that journey, the robbing banks, and he doesn't want ultimate power like those other ones.
And here's my, like, this is jumping ahead, but like that gun thing that Ray invents that helps restore their memories.
Mm-hmm.
Why would, like, Jack should have just shot Stein?
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to mention too when we got. It's like that hesitation. Or why would he need to be like, hey, look over here? He should be like, what's that over there? Bam.
Just walk up and just.
Yeah. Does it have to be in their faces? Can he just come up behind them and shoot them in the back of the head with it or something?
Exactly. Like, I just think he handled that completely horrible.
Well, we had to set that up, so then, the Legion shows up, and, Eobard destroys the spear, which is supposed to be unbreakable, but...
He built something so hot that it could, or did it?
Well, that particle accelerator or whatever it is. Yeah, it just breaks it down on a molecular level, I guess, but... Oh, did anybody recognize what the lab was supposed to be? Look like
Legion
on
of
the
Doom.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom,
Eobard tries to destroy the spear. There was a lot in this episode. I mean, just Haywood and his really bad wig.
Oh,
and
God,
his just like Thawne. And what was interesting was like, what was some of the things that Thawne had accomplished that you're like, wow, like you couldn't have done that as Harrison Wells and like really help people. But you do it as Thawne, douche.
Well, it's because he has an ego. Remember, originally he wanted to be the hero.
Mm-hmm.
True, it's true.
So I wonder where
it's actually an interesting thing to explore with Reverse Flash.
So I wonder where Cisco and Caitlin works. I thought he'd want them to be like working for him as underlings or something, unless he like killed them too or something.
See, that's the thing. Is like you said, like if this had been like really. Like, this could have been the crossover right here was the Spear of Destiny Ultra Reality, because then you could have just done all the shows combined where, maybe the heroes are dead for, like, an episode, like the main heroes, but then you had Cisco and Caitlin as flunkies for him instead of, the legends.
Oh, yeah, I could see Eobard walking in with, like, Caitlin as his girlfriend or something. Or...
having all of that and then... making everyone like subservient to them, and
boy, Jax is really good at playing a jerk, isn't he?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One could almost call him a Jax ass.
Stolen, get it done.
But how about when he threw that picture? I'm like, wow, that had some freaking distance on it.
Then the janitor had to pick it up.
Oh no!
You know how many toilets I've cleaned? Seriously, how many toilets?
But okay, so Rip making cakes. What?
I just go out here. I'm not a fan of Rip, the character. I liked him better when he was bad, and I'm just going to leave my piece there.
They haven't written him good as a good guy this season.
I didn't really. I mean, last season was very hit and miss as well. But yeah.
Well, now that Sarah's the captain, it's like he's pointless.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying I just would prefer that he, died or stayed bad.
Well, I wonder if he's going to be out. I wonder if he's going to be out at the end of the season, because they did say they're going to be switching some people up next season.
Well, we heard that before, and they barely did.
Well, they got rid of the Hawks and Captain Cole after last season.
And we got
Amaya
and Steel and Amaya.
I just thought of a way we could save it. Like, what they should do is make it so Rip's family kind of, like, because they erased Vandal Savage, he saved his family, but he did it. The only way he can live with his family is if they all live at the vanishing point. They have to live out of time.
That would be kind of neat.
But then that would make sense. No, but seriously, why cakes?
Yeah, maybe, like, I don't know.
Because he
something
was
to do, but
because he went crazy.
He fell in love with Gideon. I mean, come on, seriously. Like, he's not all there.
So what?
I did like.
So what did the? Wait, what? I was gonna say, did the Wave Rider like protect Rip from the spear, because he seemed like he wasn't affected by the timeline, and then we see he's like shrunk down in Star Labs.
Well, it's probably the point. Eobard gets off on the idea that Rip's there.
Hmm.
But I did like the scene when Haywood comes in with his conspiracy theory, and Eobard's like, "Yeah, I believe you." He's like, "What?"
He's like, "Kill him." What? No, I just think that ego sometimes is like the most simple and easy like plot device. Like, oh, why didn't he do this? His ego. You know, like why'd they keep the legends around?
Eobard, that actually works.
With Eobard, yes, but I like the way Dark and Merlin, like, we should just got rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Should have killed them all.
You think maybe the legends were like Eobard's insurance policy against the other two? He's like, get out of line, you know, I'll have my pet assassins here kill you.
Maybe. But I mean, Dark had his magic back, and see, I could see Dark keeping Sarah around just to kind of for his ego and pleasure of just like torturing, like, I killed your sister, now you do my bidding, and like even having Sarah like as his groupie. So
actually, when you think about it, they could have brought back Laurel for this episode.
Oh, there's a lot more that could have been done with the idea of alternate reality, especially from the villain's point of view. Like,
please, they did more for the villains when the villains took over the House of Mouse. Jeez.
But
true.
I know Sarah and Amaya were supposed to be partners here, but were they more than partners? I couldn't figure, you know.
It's Sarah. You never know. You suspect, but you never know.
And I love. How about Nate when he confronts Amaya and she doesn't remember? He's like, we had sex and we both enjoyed it.
But I like the scene when they're gonna kill Nate and Heatwave just can't do it.
Because I mean, honestly, I think Nate's like the innocent guy. You know, he's not a fighter. He's the bookworm kind of person.
But he was an idiot this episode. He thought he had his powers. I'm like, okay, they rewrote reality, and you really think Eobard's gonna leave you your powers? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know about you guys, but I really want to try one of Nate's mom's sandwiches. Like,
I know, right?
They're the best.
My mom will not be happy with that.
Oh, you know another thing they could have done if reality written, just have Commander Steel be like 95 or something in a chair, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked this episode. It was fun.
Oh yeah,
well, yeah. Oh, definitely. But one thing I like is everyone punching Nick when they got their memory back.
I know.
Oh yes, he's like, I deserve that, and then everyone's just like, you son of a. Pff. Okay, I get it.
Well, yeah, Ray's cleaned how many toilets he said, and you know how many people, maybe even friends, has Sarah killed.
They didn't really address that though. Oh, yeah, he shot Nate in the back of the head.
Yep.
So it's funny, the whole punching in the face thing. If you notice, he lets Nate punch him, he lets Ray punch him, but Sarah's the one that he gets mad at because probably Sarah has a better punch than those two.
This is possible.
Oh, you know what big thing we didn't talk about? Eobard had the Black Flash locked up.
Yes.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, that thing's gonna be mad when he gets out of there.
So that means that even with him rewriting reality, does that mean that the Black Flash then is still after him?
Well, because he probably can't affect the Speed Force. It's one of two things.
Yeah, either it's because it's connected to Speed Force, or again, ego.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking he can't stop it. I'm thinking it's like being on another Earth. The Speed Force can't be affected by it.
Right.
That makes sense, and that would have been a cool something to bring up, like just some dialogue, like even with using the spear to change and rewrite reality, like you're still being hunted.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have it locked up.
I think it would have been more interesting if they would have showed him killing the Black Flash, maybe with the spear, and the Black Flash just keeps coming back.
That would have been cool. So what you're saying is we need jobs as writers on Legends?
Oh, we've said that since day one. By the way, I love how there's a little subtle... It's like she doesn't say it, but when she gets her memory wreck, Sarah looks down at her outfit like, what am I wearing?
Yep.
You're the Black Canary again.
No, she's the Canary again.
Mm-hmm.
She was the Canary, then the White Canary.
But, I mean, I thought when you rewrote reality, you rewrote all time, but I guess if they're going back to World War I, that's unaffected.
See, that's what I said. I was like, when they brought up, like, we have to go, I'm like, how is that possible? Like, because if you rewrote reality, you would have rewrote everything.
Well, it's one of those things where you can make up your own rules. You know, like it's reality. Like they rewrite reality after this point because you know what, you could have. Well, again, you could just say that the spear. You could say even with the spear, you got to be careful because you want to unmake something. Or that's one argument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. So, I mean, you could just say that, like you said, it rewrote from this particular point on.
Although, I guess...
changed it from that point forward.
I guess they couldn't... I guess with the spear, I guess could do anything. But I was going to say, maybe they can't rewrite the World War I part because that's where the Legion got the spear.
Oh, like it's like the time travel. The spear cannot rewrite events it's a part of.
Maybe, yeah. And they don't want to rewrite that. They don't even want to rewrite the event because that's where they got the spear. Yeah.
Now, one of the scenes I really like in this episode, and again, it's my opinion that Gideon is alive, is that he's like make me some more rum, and she's just like no, and we find out the only reason she's been putting up with this is because she's been coming up with a plan.
Mm-hmm. And like doing repairs and stuff. Yep.
It's a good thought.
So I'm assuming that he used Ray's Atom Tech to shrink the ship, unless someone with a spear did it.
It's probably. I would think it was probably the spear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but or both. Am I crazy, or did Barry's, or did the Flash mask look different?
I don't know. Did it look different in season 1 of The Flash? Because I was going to say, unless he took him out early or something. Or Barry went through
multiple masks. By the way, it's interesting when they're talking about going after, like, with the plan, that she talks at the first, like, she talks about Mick like he's not there.
Mm-hmm. Still not respecting Mick.
Nobody respects Mick.
But I have a feeling, next episode's the finale. They're going to put everything back the way it was, but I wonder if Eobard's going to find a loophole to survive.
I wonder if Snart's going to, like, or something,
Mm-hmm. It'll have ripples and cracks. It won't be able to be smooth and seamless. They have to bring Amaya back.
And I wonder if they're going to use it. I wonder if they're going to use that excuse to give Merlin his hand back.
I hope so.
Oh, I just thought of something. What if they set it right so even like Amaya's like certain things get rewritten and Maya comes back, but they put her back like before she even left.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that part of? I don't know. Like, what if they use it and they fix it so that they never went on the quest for the spear, and so they never had to break it apart, and the Haywood men are actually good. And Nate didn't have his bad relationship with his dad.
So many things they could do. Well, I guess we'll find out. Okay, how about when they're talking about beating Eobard, and I'm like, when Merlin and Dark were talking, I'm like, don't do it, and then they clinked their glasses. I'm like, they did it.
Oh yeah, celebratory villain drink party.
I'm like, if there's anything more to cement that they're basically the same character, but one thing I wondered when Sarah like tried to when Dame, I wonder if like her getting captured was like the whole point, just so she could get closer to Amaya, or was it all supposed to be improvised? You know,
it's a combination,
yeah.
But we'll see.
The funny thing is, like, Eobard literally could have just killed everyone in that room without a second thought.
Yeah, for a speedster, he kind of moves slow. But just saying, like, he could have done a lot more, but ego.
Interestingly, and I think it's an interesting idea that they still retain their altered reality memories even after they're getting the old ones back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I don't know. It seemed like they got back their memories a little too easily, but I mean, I guess you have to do that so they can do something.
One line, I usually don't nitpick lines like this, but Dark saying, "Give me that spear, or I will turn you into a jockstrap." I'm like, how does that work? I mean, shish kebab would have made sense, but jockstrap?
I don't know. I think he was trying.
That would have been interesting to see.
I think he was just saying, I can do anything, and I can. You think your life's horrible now? I can make it much more intolerable.
Oh! Did he mean? I thought he meant just like killing him with the spear. But yeah, I guess that makes. I'm gonna literally turn you into a jockstrap.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Oh god, that's even dumber. But I did love that scene when Dark lets go of the spear and like goes to, like nods to Haywood, so he gets Thawne with the spear.
What about the scene where
they almost high five?
Yeah. How about the scene where they're throwing the spear around? Oh, and what about what Captain Cold does?
Kills Amaya.
Yeah, she's gonna be back.
Mick can't kill him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amaya will be back when they said everything right. Everyone's like, "Were you shocked?" I'm like, "No, she's gonna be back."
I'll be more shocked if they just leave her dead.
They're not gonna leave her dead.
She has to come back. If for no other reason to go back, they have to take her back so she can have kids, and then they can have kids and get the present fixing.
So that Nate can be heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently we almost get they kind of explain it without explaining it, because we've said since season 1, how come the cold and heat guns don't work as well? It's like it seems to be implied they have different settings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Although if that's true, maybe he should have freeze Eobard, you dumb son of a.
Because how many times have we seen Captain Cold shoot his gun in Legends and it never freezes anything until now?
Different settings.
I love the idea that like Mick gives them the Legends the spear, kind of because it's the right thing to do, but also because he's just pissed at Snart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
very anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heatwave's grown when we get that old Captain Cold who hasn't learned his lessons yet.
Just an interesting contrast. Now, here's something, and as I said, I was going to bring this up before. Dark still has his magic power. Shouldn't that mean he is somewhat of a match for Eobard?
Maybe. I mean, unless he was just like plotting his moves. It's a
good question.
His reaction still has to be quicker than Eobard, and Eobard has super.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those. It's just they never. He has his powers in this scene, but they never address. They never have him use it, which really makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, couldn't he have stopped the spear from falling?
Yes.
You would think, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe he was worried about angering Eobard, and it's like Merlin and Dark don't really want to work for Eobard or with him, but I mean they still have pretty good lives here.
Yeah. You know, I thought this a way to make this the season finale. If Eobard, it turns out, made a mistake in destroying the spear, unmakes it what it did.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, and he starts disappearing.
If it was the '70s cartoon, he would have been like, "Oh darn."
Or no, you know what? Or if it just unmade one thing, if like he threw the spear in and all of a sudden the Black Flash was free. And like, oh crap.
Okay, you know what? That speech at the end was such bull. It was like, and Eobard knew it. He's like, "You kill one of us, we'll kill all you." It's like, and I'm going there going, "No, you won't." I like the implication that Thawne's ego is going to be his undoing.
Oh, of course, it's like it's all an ego thing. Why is he still in this time? You think if he would have written his perfect reality, wouldn't he be back in his own time?
Maybe, or let's see him in his own time. He's a loser and nobody likes him.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. He's just another person in that time. But here, since he has future knowledge, he's like a superstar.
Well, that's the whole point. And so you got to remember, in his time, the science he knows is commonplace. In that time, in our time, it's like future. Like he's brilliant.
Yes. So, is there anything else on this episode? I mean, it was a good episode, but did we hit anything?
Well, how about the fact they're gonna go after Rip and try to time travel? I'm curious because again, I mean, how are they going to address the? Well, we'll see. Because I guess yeah, you could fix aberrations if you go back time to get the spear. The spear is the one thing that could prevent the aberration of crossing your own timeline. So that would, if they do it that way, that would actually make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the weird, and this is my final thoughts on the show. And we talked about this last season too. This show has such a weird habit. The ending episodes are always really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is in my opinion, this episode felt like I was watching a comic book. The same thing happened last year. The best episode was the beginning and ending episode because those were the ones most like a comic book.
Well, I think they get an idea for a season. They have maybe a beginning, they have the ending, and then they're like, okay, well, we need to like stretch this out for like 15 or 16 more episodes. So what can we throw in here? I know, George Lucas.
What kind of filler do we have?
Exactly. J.R.R. Tolkien.
I know. Let's borrow a villain from another show. Actually, let's borrow all our villains from another show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's still fun.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That it's more when it's more complex, like it's more fun. So, but it's really funny. Like this episode, I was really impressed by, but in a way that's sad because it shows the show can be better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
right.
True.
Legends writers, write your whole season like you're writing the finale.
I know. I keep forgetting to go check the writers of like these episodes to see if it's the same people that write the good ones.
Keep messaging, like keep writing.
Oh, and programming note, everyone. Remember, on Tuesday, Legends will be on at 8 o'clock, not its usual 9 o'clock.
Yeah, like anyone will care.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying because I guess their iZombie premieres after it.
Ooh.
Oops. Just saying, trying to be helpful.
And stop trying to help the CW. So I think that sums it up.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
So, yeah. All right. Well, then, if share your thoughts with us. The season's coming to an end. Email us podcastoftomorrow@gmail.com. Facebook is Podcast of Tomorrow, the Legends of DC podcast, and Twitter is @podcasttomorrow. And Zach, where can people complain to you about Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah, well, if you want to bash me for bashing the show, but I doubt you will, you can always reach me with any of the podcasts that I do for Southgate Media or anything with the Intransanity brand.
Tyler.
And you can find me at Krypton Report or at JTY Patrick. Krypton Report, we talk Supergirl. You can also find me on the Flashpoint with these crazy guys. And that's where you'll find us.
And as always, you can talk DC and Marvel with me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. Check out all the other wonderful programs on Legends of DC, and check out some Marvel stuff, enough said. Alright, take us out, Zach.
Alright, it's time for us to depart. We're going to get lost in the time stream, but don't worry, we'll time travel so we'll be back before you even notice.